But if you don't have that agreed to off the bat, now all of a sudden things get personal, you lose the friendship, you lose the business. What do you got left? Nothing. This video is brought to you by Zoho Sign, a complete digital signature app for business signatories. Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we'll be talking about the top 6 contracts that you need as a freelancer or an agency, and we'll be breaking them down into stupid simple terms that even a 5th grader can understand. That sounds exciting to me. Let's do it. Ready? Let's dive in. But before that, hey, it's Alex helping you with all your B2B business needs. And on this channel, we talk a lot about cold email, lead generation, B2B sales, agency, and SaaS growth. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. Contracts. I'm honestly not a big fan of contracts. I love the handshake deal. I love going up to customers and saying, bro, let's just do it. Let's go. Let's shake hands and let's make it happen. I remember the last time I did a handshake deal, I was so excited. I shook hands with this client and I was like, all right, we're going to do an equity split. This is what it's going to be. Everybody knows exactly what this is. All right, we're agreed. Then 6 months later, my co-founder asked me, hey, what's the equity split that we have with this partner? And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's written somewhere. We go back, we try to search it up. It's not in our chat. We had only had the equity conversation person to person, mano y mano, as it were. And so that information is just lost. And in those situations, you really want a contract. So as awkward as it is to pull out a one-page contract at first, as awkward as it is to go back and forth on some of the terms of the contract, it is very necessary when you're doing business, especially like us, if you're doing international business, but just in general, having all of your terms lined up will save you a lot of time, it'll save you a lot of energy, and it'll save you a lot of money in the long run. But you don't want to hire a lawyer to do contracts because that's super expensive at first. So that's why in today's video, we're going to give you 6 contracts absolutely free that you can use as a basis, as a starting point, so you don't have to hire a lawyer right away. Eventually, of course, with all your contracts, I recommend hiring a lawyer. I'm also not a lawyer, can't give legal advice. So take all this with a grain of salt. But let's go through and talk about these top 6 contracts that you need right now. First one is a service agreement. If you are a freelancer and you're working with clients, or you're an agency and you're working with clients, you need a contract that basically just tells them what you're going to do and what you're going to deliver. It doesn't have to be a long contract. I know at first I would just do an email bullet points that broke down exactly what I would do and just get them to agree to it. Then we did a 1-page contract, and now we have a multi-page. I think we have a 10, 15-page service agreement. That's called an SLA now, service level agreement, and it goes through exactly what to expect. But at a high level, it'll go through the kind of work you do and the cost, and then the estimated delivery dates of that work, plus how the contract would be broken if needed. The second contract is a non-disclosure agreement. Now, you might be like me and you're super trusting of everyone. You think it doesn't matter. You don't even have any secrets. You just spill stuff out. Doesn't really matter. But as you get into the businesses we're in, lead generation, where one secret could be worth millions of dollars if people don't know it. When we started sending our emails with personalized first lines, if nobody else had seen that, we would have been able to take over the complete market. But someone hears that, they start talking about it, I make a YouTube video about it, and now everyone starts doing it and the tactic is dead. And that happens over and over and over again in this business. It's very cutthroat. And so if your business is like that the same way, maybe you're designing with certain techniques that could be easily copied, or you're creating videos in a certain way that anyone could start doing and using as inspiration, you need that non-disclosure agreement so that people aren't spilling the beans and taking giant chunks of business away from you. Because one secret told to the wrong person could lead to millions of dollars in lost earnings. And nobody wants that. You know, these are people's families at stake here. And that's a business level NDA. There's also personal level NDAs where, you know, some people might be giving secrets or some other stuff that nobody wants to talk about. And so the NDA stops that. And all employees really should have an NDA. That way, when they leave organizations, they're not able to write, tell-all exposés about whoever they're working for. So let's say you're a sales agency that has a bunch of these Zoho automations that as soon as they pay you, you can just hit a couple buttons and put it in and start taking their business to the next level. Now, if you don't have that NDA in place, what'll happen? A client will hire you, you'll put all the automations into their business, and then all of a sudden they can just sell those automations to somebody else. So you want to make sure the NDA is in place for that reason, and it's very clear what is going on. Now, the other level to that is an intellectual property agreement, which we will actually talk about now. That's contract 3. An intellectual property agreement talks about who owns what when it comes to a business. So you're an agency, you design a logo for my company. If there's no intellectual property agreement, who knows who actually owns that logo? Does the agency that created the logo own that logo? Can they sell a version of that logo to somebody else? Does my company own that logo? Can I print it wherever I want, or do I have to pay a licensing fee? What is going on? All of that is outlined in your intellectual property agreement. So making sure that everyone knows that, hey, I paid you $2,000 for this. That means I own it. Or I paid you $2,000 for this. I don't fully own it. I can use what I have and you can go license it out to somebody else. This contract makes sure everyone knows who owns the final product. The fourth one is a payment agreement. This goes into detail about who's getting paid, when, and why. This can have a bunch of different things. This could be, hey, we're gonna get 30% upfront and then 40% as payment number 2, and then the rest on delivery. Sometimes it makes sense to get paid on certain dates and certain time periods, but other times it makes sense to get paid on delivery. As an agency owner that's signing clients, I like to get paid by dates because then you always know when the cash is coming in. So depending on who you are, you might want to do different payment terms. And I know we're talking a ton about contracts, and you might be wondering, how do I sign these contracts in a legal binding way? Well, that's where Zoho Sign comes in. Zoho Sign is a simple and secure digital signature app for fast-growing businesses. With Zoho Sign, you can sign, send, and manage documents from anywhere and at any time. Not just that, it also helps you automate repeated tasks, verify the signer's identity, collect payments, sign documents across borders with the highest level of legal compliance, and much more. You can begin your journey with the forever free plan, which is 5 docs per month, or a 14-day enterprise free trial with no credit card required. And then you can upgrade to a paid plan for as little as $10 a month. The link is alexberman.com/ZohoSign. And if you want a sweet discount, use the code AlexZohoSign. Go check it out. It's free to try, alexberman.com/ZohoSign. Contract number 5 is an independent contractor agreement. Sometimes you don't need a 20-page contract and you're hiring an agency. Sometimes you just want to bring one of your friends on board to consult for an hour, or you want to have somebody come in to do a little bit of work and you want to make sure that all of the legal dots are dotted, all the legal I's are dotted and all the legal T's are crossed. And that's where the independent contractor agreement comes into play. Similar to the service level agreement, this goes through who does what, who's responsible for what, who owns what, kind of a combination of the SLA, the NDA, and the other contracts that we talked about previously, all in one short document that you can bring out, a friend can sign it, and then they can get to work without any of the hassle. You know, you never want business and friendship to get in the way, but with a strong contract in place, that won't be a big deal. You know, maybe your friend is mad about this business contract that you did, but you're able to still hang out because the contract was solid enough, everybody knew what was going on. But if you don't have that agreed to off the bat, now all of a sudden things get personal, you lose the friendship, you lose the business. What do you got left? Nothing. You got nothing left, all right? Get that contract signed. Speaking about losing friends, contract number 6 is the termination agreement. Last but not least, the termination agreement is what happens when a customer decides to end a project early. And a lot of people don't think about this. They make the contracts for 6 months, for 12 months, and they think, oh, this is gonna always go as planned. But what happens if 1 month into the project with one of your clients, you find out they're a you know, you don't wanna work with them? Well, you need something in place where you can fire that client. Same with you. If they don't vibe with your agency, they should be able to pay you a cancellation fee and get out. There should be a way to stop these contracts because everything doesn't go according to plan all the time. And that is where the termination agreement comes into play. It's like having a backup plan in case something goes wrong and you need to change it. And there you have it, friends. Those are the top 6 contracts you need for your B2B agency if you want to keep it running smooth, explained in a way a 5th grader would understand. Remember, these contracts are like a set of rules to help you and your customers work together smoothly. So you should not be scared to pull out a contract and to agree to things before you start work. And in fact, a hard conversation up front can save you a lot of issues down the road. So get in there, try out Zoho Sign, start signing these contracts legally, and get to work. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure to watch this video where we paid a lawyer $1,000 to write a contract for us.